Hi friends! Welcome back to another quilling time. If you're new here, this is Marty, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing for more bookish contents, book talk, and book reviews with me. So, kumusta? I hope you're doing well and are staying safe after the wrath of Typhoon Rolly and Typhoon Ulysses here in the Philippines. If not, rescue is coming on its way, so please hang on a little longer. I included important links below in the description box, so please check the description box for donation drives that we can participate in. If we could not participate because we think that we could not afford thousands of donation, please remember that your little help will be a big help for people who have lost everything in these disasters. In today's video, to get your mind off it for a little while, let's talk books and how I managed to read more in this busy and gloomy week. Well, I've been spending a lot of time doing desk works this week, but I don't want to bore you with my desk works. So this video is filled with other things I do outside of my office while as a new housewife. So in this video, let's talk about the 3 books that I have read using audiobook. The first book is The Invisible Life of Addie, published in 2020, and its average Goodreads rating is 4.5. This is my introduction story by V.E. Schwab, and to tell you honestly, it's not my favorite, but I liked it. Well, I thought that it's about Hades and Persephone love affair again, but no, it's not like that. Well, that's to save you the trouble of finding out in the end. But it's beautiful. This story is beautiful. It's a little bit of every nice things. It's a little bit of fantasy, a little bit of romance, a little bit of historical fiction, and a little bit of horror. While in the story, we follow the story of Addie or Adeline Leroux, who lived in the early 1700s in France. When she reached 23, she was bound to be married with this widowed man who is twice her age. And Addie didn't want that to happen. She wants more of life than what a provincial life could offer. So in her despair, she forgot all of the teachings of Esther to her, that she should not, no matter what happens, she should not pray to the gods who answered after dark. Well, she did. When she did, though, the god answered her prayer. However, it was through a curse. Addie, wishing, praying for freedom, is now free, but she will be immortal and she will not get old. She will be forever young. However, also, everybody that she meets will forget her, even her parents. So 300 years passed, and the only person who remembered Addie was this guy called Henry. And that's when the love started. This is a very character-driven story, but I liked how Addie and Henry are active characters who actually moves the plot. Well, that's what a character-driven story is, right? I like how Addie is such a resilient woman who didn't surrender to her curse, even if she experienced all hardships in her life for 300 years. I admire her grit, I admire her passion, and her feistiness. Well, Henry, on the other hand, is a more relatable character to me. I love how flawed he is, I love how human he is. His decisions, his wants, and pains are so relatable that I want to cuddle with him and take care of him. I love how Addie and Henry can see each other for who they are and still accept each other. Well, contrary to my penchant of dark characters, I was not scared of Luke. Luke is nothing like Hades. He's not a scary devil. His powers are ambiguous to me, and I didn't feel scared at all for him and the things that he could do. Maybe because he's like a dark version of Elsa to me, whose powers are very ambiguous. Well, my favorite part of the story is actually Robbie and Henry. Their dynamics is very fun to read about. I love every moments of Henry and Robbie. The LGBTQ representation in this book is so organic, so natural. It's not that of a big deal, and I loved it for that. My least favorite part, however, is the revenge plot. By the near the end of the book, it somehow lost me because I'm not really a fan of revenge plot in books. So, nope. Overall rating is 4 because it's a beautiful book, but I don't think it will be my favorite. But it's beautiful. It's like a vivid painting. It's serene, it's magical. It does not hurry. It wants to be slowed down. It wants to be read, like the night circus feeling. That's what I felt while reading this book. And I appreciate it for being so magical and so beautiful. So yeah, 4 stars out of 5. Is If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. I have a good feeling about starting this book because it brought me back to university days. However, it's dark and it has murder in it, so it's so mysterious, and I really love how mysterious university-based novels are. Well, the story is told from the point of view of Oliver, and he has served his time in jail for 10 years because of a murder that he was or was not responsible of. And Colborne, the detective who arrested him back then, was retiring, and it was a conversation between them because Colborne wanted to know what actually happened 10 years ago. Well, Oliver indulged him as Shakespearean storytelling, flashbacks to their university days. In the story, we follow this group of friends who are top students of this elite drama conservatory called Delacour Shakespeare Conservatory. I love how James and Oliver's moments are so fun and so organic, so natural. I also love how theatrical it is and how passionate the characters are in their craft. Characterization is so Shakespeare that it embodies every bit of Shakespeare tragedy elements. Well, I understand Shakespeare is not for everybody, but my dehydrated English major self is so happy to be hydrated again with classic literature 5. Well, this story is so melodramatic, it's poetic, it's imperfectly beautiful. It's gripping and well-paced. I also love how characters get tangled between their roles in the theater and the reality, and that they blur the line between morality and playing their roles, which leads them to the crime that I will not tell you. Yes, I think it's a crime when you don't do anything to stop an actual crime. I think it's murder as much as the murderer itself when you choose to do nothing. So, case in point, even if we cannot volunteer to rescue those who are in need of rescuing from faraway places, we could still do something like donate any amount we could or give anything we have to those who have nothing. Having said that, I will be reminding everybody to donate to the links in the description box to extend any help we could extend to the victims of Typhoon Ulysses in the Philippines. So going back to the story, some would say that the characters are flat and one-dimensional, but I think that's a thing to their merit because of how engrossed they are in playing their stage roles, that they invest all their lives in living up to that role. Well, I don't know if dark academia always have physical violence, drug abuse, alcohol, smoking, and mental illnesses going on, but I hope the book have explored the ways on how to address these issues properly. If young readers would read this, these trigger warnings may not be taken correctly, or they may be taken in the wrong way. Well, overall, this book is not perfect, but it's tragically beautiful, as all Shakespeare plays are. Reading this is such a fulfilling experience, especially to literature or language major like me who loves Shakespeare. It's cool, spontaneous, entertaining, mysterious, and a page-turner. I think this is also a lovely read for a plot-driven reader like me. This is up for another reading, maybe when I have my physical copy, like The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I will be rereading them, give them a second shot. Maybe they will become one of my favorites if I would reread them. So for now, I'm giving this book 4 out of 5 stars.
This is Marty.
Penguin Random House Audio presents Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. Read for you by Frankie Corzo.
Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. This was published in 2020 and I read it during the typhoon and while playing Animal Crossing, but yeah, it's a good book. It's about Noemi Taboada, a young feisty archaeologist who received a mysterious letter from her beloved cousin named Catalina, who was asking for her help because her husband is maltreating her. So on is our feisty archaeologist to this creepy old Gothic mansion filled with dread, excitement, and overall gloomy atmosphere.
Spanish to English. I'm sure I'll have no trouble. This place didn't compare to that. It was wilder.
I love how unlovable.
She found herself
Naomi
warily assessing the height
She's
of the trees
vain,
and the depths
fickle-minded,
of the
curious,
ravines.
and sassy. But that's what kept the pages going. The Doyle family is very suspicious and moldy. Yep. If you read this book, you'll know what I mean with moldy. Everything about this book screams Gothic, and I love it for the vibe. I also root for Noemi as she tries her best to stand her ground against Virgil Doyle, who I despised with all myself. The women in these novels are strong characters who fight stereotypes in their own ways. While everything in this book is so creepy and a major trigger warning about rape and other stuff going on, so if you are uncomfortable with that, then you may try to skip this part. The writing style is, well, my only issue in this book is the writing style. So I generally enjoyed it, and I recommend it to people who are fan of light horror like me and looking for rich Gothic vibe. So I am rating this book 4 out of 5. And that's it from me today. Let me know what you think about these books that are mentioned here in this video. Let's discuss in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing for more bookish contents, book talk, and book reviews with me. If you enjoyed this video or if you like any of the books mentioned here, please hit that like button and that notification bell so that you will be notified whenever I post a new video. You may also want to follow me on my socials. I recently joined Twitter and I am looking for more mutuals who are bookworms, so we could talk elsewhere. In light of the recent typhoons though, I am reminding everybody to please donate to the links that are in the description box, and all of our small help are big for people who have lost everything in their life. Thank you once again. Thank you in advance for your donations, and I will see you soon in the next video. Bye!